But seriously, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meekela, this is Meekela Reads, and we're going to make cinnamon crumble muffin mix today. And I'm also going to tell you about the books that I plan to read in winter and the books that I read in autumn. So every season I do a TBR for the season to, you know, get into the vibe of what's happening, and most of the time I don't stick to it. So we're going to wrap up what I did last season, and then we're going to figure out what I'm doing this season. Now, keeping in mind, Summer Splash Readathon is happening in July, which is midwinter for me, which is great. We love sub 20 temperatures for a summer readathon. So my TBR is going to be significantly shorter than what it usually would be if that wasn't the case, but that has its own video coming next month. Stay tuned. But for today, we're going to start by making this as well, because I figured me telling you about things can be kind of boring sometimes, you know? We want to switch it up a bit, keep it interesting, keep it fresh. Step number 1, preheat the oven. That's usually a good start. I haven't got any of the stuff I need. All right, eggs, water, oil. Oil, eggs. Half a cup of water. Does it tell me what kind of water I need? Just says water. Sweet. Okay. So I'll start by wrapping up the books that I read last season and figuring out what books they were. I actually have to go back and watch the video because I can't remember. So the first books that I have noted for my autumn TBR was the Vampire Academy series, books 1, 2, 3, and 4. I did actually read 1 through 3, so that is a giant tick for the TBR there. And then I also said that I was going to read books 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Zodiac Academy. I did read book 1 and didn't love it, so haven't continued the series. I might one day, but just not right now. I don't think it's not on the cards for me. All right, we've had a lighting change and some time has passed because battery died. Where was I? Okay, so Sharks in the Time of Saviors I did read, and that was a part of the Pocket Pages book club with Ali. She runs that one. And it was alright. I enjoyed it to an extent. Just add all of the things. So I'm just gonna add all of the things. And then next was Blood Like Magic. I did DNF that one. I don't know, I just wasn't super into it. It wasn't what I wanted at that point in time, so I didn't read it. And then next was Gilded, I believe. Yep, by Marissa Meyer, which I read and loved, and the next one comes out at the end of this year, and I am super excited for that. And then we had Dawn Study, which I finally read. For those of you who've been around for a while, you would know that I was rereading the Poison Study series for a long time, and just generally, I had an okay time rereading them. They weren't as good as I remember them being, which is kind of frustrating and a bit sad, but it was still good to go back and read them again. And then the next one on the list was A Darker Shade of Magic, which I read and thought was okay. Much to Kirsty's dismay, I'm sorry. She may have convinced me to potentially read number 2 and 3 though, so if I see them around, I may continue the series, question mark, we're not sure yet. And then the last 2 I actually didn't read. They were Ever Evergreen Semi-Magical Witch, which is a middle grade fantasy, and then also The Poppy War, which I didn't read. But that does lead me into the next segment of the video, which is my winter TBR. But I'm going to do this first because I don't know what I'm doing. And then we'll come back and chat, because I'm not sure if any of what I told you before was actually audible because the fan was going for the oven. So, hang 15-minute timer. So, my TBR for winter. As with autumn, I'm still rereading the Vampire Academy series, so I'll be jumping into 4, 5, and 6. I'm starting 4 this week. As I've said before, I'm rereading the series with a bunch of people from the Book to Boozy podcast Discord. We're doing a reread / first read for some of those people. The Vampire Academy series follows a high school of half vampires and vampires. They call themselves Dampiers Morroys. And it follows two characters, primarily Lissa and Rose. Lissa is a Morroy and she's royalty, and Rose is her guardian, so she's a Dampier. She's a half human, half vampire. And don't you start again. You know what, we're gonna move to a different location because I don't think that the fan is conducive to filming. Okay, wow, this video is chaos. Oh boy. You know, I'm kind of thinking that this video is kind of like a filler episode. Not quite relevant to the plot, but relevant for character development. The plot being the books that I actually read. So as I was saying, Vampire Academy series, am rereading. That's about it for that. There's 3 more in the series and then we're done with this part of it. Then we'll move on in spring next season. Following on my theme of recently I've been reading a lot more contemporary books, and that is for the purpose of 24-hour reading vlogs. I find they're nice to balance out, they're a bit of a palate cleanser, and so to continue on with the Alice Oseman theme that I've been having going recently, I will be reading Radio Silence. This is one of her novels. I don't believe it follows the Heartstopper universe. I know one of her other novels does though, but I think that that's Solitaire. I don't think that's this one. However, in the Heartstopper graphic novels, this is in it. Like they're reading this in the panels, like the little pictures. And then in the show as well, that one character reads this at some point as well. But this is like a young adult coming of age kind of story following Frances. I believe she is like a studyaholic, doesn't really have much of a life. I think that it's based in friendship. And the back of it says, engaging with themes of identity, diversity, and the freedom to choose, Radio Silence is a tour de force by the most exciting writer of her generation. Big claim. I'm interested to see. I've heard some mixed reviews about this. I've heard that it's great. I've heard that it's not great. We'll see how we go. Next. Oh, my segue that never actually happened before. Lol. I'm going to be reading The Poppy War in winter. However, I'm doing this as a buddy read with Kirsty and I'm so excited. So beyond excited. We're jumping into this pretty soon. If you don't know her, Kirsty is another fantastic YouTuber who makes videos about books. She's from Northern Ireland. You should go check her out. She is amazing. I'll leave her linked in the bottom, obviously. But we'll be reading The Poppy War, which is a fantastical history-based fiction book. It is relatively like historically based. However, I don't think it's incredibly accurate. It's based in China and there is a fantastical twist to this as well. Again, I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard people love it, but then I've also heard people that hate it. They have no love towards it whatsoever. So I'm interested to see which camp I fall in, because both of the people whose reviews I've heard I trust and they're so conflicting. So I'm excited. I'm mostly honestly just excited to be doing a buddy read with Kirsty because how fun. I love buddy reads. Have you been here before? Do you know that I love buddy reads? I love buddy reads. To jump to a very different genre that I have not read before as far as I know, I'll be reading Hidden Valley Road by Robert Culker. This is a book that follows a family in America, I think in the 70s potentially, and they have 12 children and 6 of those children are actually diagnosed with schizophrenia. So this is like a non-fiction, I'm pretty sure, and I think that it's going to follow trying to figure out why half of these children have been diagnosed with schizophrenia and what the reason, like what the science behind it is. This was actually recommended to me by one of my friends who is actually a psychiatrist. So he said it was good, I trust him, and I'm excited to read this because it's different to anything I've really actually read before. So this should be fun. The front cover is super creepy though, because like all of the children in the front here, they're like staring into your soul. And it's terrifying. And the last one that I'm going to try to read, predicting that I might get to eventually, is actually finally Under the Whispering Door by TJ Cloon. I read The House in the Cerulean Sea in 2020. Those 2 years blur for me. Did they even happen? It was my favorite book of the year, and I know that this one is not as good. That is just the resounding review. Under the Whispering Door is not as good as The House in the Cerulean Sea, but I'm excited nonetheless because I do love TJ Cloon's writing, and this story is of a similar kind of vibe, I think. A bit darker. So we start this one that says, when a reaper comes to collect Wallace from his own sparsely attended funeral, Wallace is outraged, but he begins to suspect she's right and he is in fact dead. This starts with the character dying. Should be interesting. I blasted through that, my god. I don't think the muffins are even close to being done yet, so yeah, no, we've still got like 6 minutes. So I'm gonna come back and close with you guys once the muffins are done, because that's why we're here. We're here for the muffins. We're not really here for the books. It's all a lie. Alright, they're done. Let's go get the muffins, or are they done? We probably should check that actually. I'm just gonna just check if they're actually done. Okay. Muffins. But that is it for this video and my winter TBR and autumn wrap up. That's what it was, I think. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're having a fantastic day or night or whatever time it is where you are. And I will see you in my next video. Next week's video is very exciting. I am very excited for next week's video. So please stay tuned and watch that. And if you're not subscribed, maybe do that too so you don't miss out. Alright, bye.